Hello and welcome to this week's Type 1 Thursday with me, Hanna, also known as Hanna Diabetes Expert apparently on social medias, and Type 1 since very many years. Anyway, quick introduction. Today we are talking about 10 diabetes things that you can and you might want to do during lockdown that you might not have the chance to do otherwise. And this is, of course, because, I'll get into it, but this is basically because we are all spending, well, hopefully, we are all spending more time at home right now, so we have a little bit more of a chance to experiment and stuff, but I'll get to that. First of all, I did want to say that, I know this is a very uncertain time, this is a very scary and messy time, and, you don't need to accomplish anything at all during this lockdown, during your time at home. You don't have to. It's not at all a must, a requirement. But for the ones that might want to start, exploring a little bit more about what is possible, you can, for example, do one of these 10 things that I'm going to share with you today. As I mentioned already, this is because we are spending more time at home and we have a little bit more time, space, maybe opportunities and chances to, experiment a little bit because we are in the safety of our own homes. We are not stuck in an office somewhere. We are not stuck on, public transportation where something could go wrong blood sugar-wise, or, you don't feel well doing this thing or whatever. So that's why I suggest this is a good time, even though, as I said, you don't have to. The big one, the number one of diabetes things that you can do if you are stuck at home in a lockdown. And that is, of course, basal testing. I did a whole Type 1 Thursday episode on this, so I don't feel it's necessary to explain too much. You can just scroll back or go to my blog or my YouTube to find that episode to learn how you can basal test properly. But basal testing is something that usually requires quite a bit of effort and a bit of time and a bit of patience. So this might be a great thing to do now that you are at home a little bit more than otherwise. That means that you can still basal test and fast without having the extra stress of getting to the office, for example. You have time to correct either highs or lows if they happen. All of this stuff in the comfort of your own home. How awesome is that? How often do we get to do that? And who wants to basal test during an actual holiday? That's not the point. The point is to keep the rest of your life as semi-normal as possible and just do the basal testing. So it fits you in this at this point of your life and in this sort of point of your insulin management, so to say. Another thing you can do is organize your supplies. Yay! I mean, I am quite I like when things are organized, and I do enjoy organizing things, even though it takes a lot of effort. But this is very good to do right now, to throw away those half-eaten glucotabs or low things that are somehow crumbled between your CGM sensors and your, insulin pump cartridge, black. Just really clean everything out, make sure everything is nice and clean, and maybe take stock of what you actually have now so that you know what you have. There are no strange surprises of, oh crap, I don't have that or that. And you can order things in time. As we know, some companies, definitely not all of them, but I'm sure some of them will experience the shortage at some point. So don't be caught short. Next one, clean your gear with an alcohol swab, like one of those disinfectant things that you have before you have an injection or insert a new pump site, for example. Use one of those and clean your pump, your CGM thing, your CGM receiver, your pen, all that lint and dust and stuff that gets stuck in the little corners and nooks and crannies. Get all of that out and clean your gear, because it feels a lot fresher, it feels a lot nicer when everything is nice and clean, and you're not going to do that when you sit at the office, so do it now while you're home, for example. And then number 4, of course, a little favorite, which I do every Monday. I have to say I'm a good diabetic that way, but change your Lancet. Lancets get really disgusting really fast, so make sure you do change it at least regularly and not just once a year. Try to have it on a day, but if not, if you haven't gotten there, at least do it now that you have the time to actually find the Lancets in your newly cleaned out desk or drawer of diabetes supplies. How about you try a new dish, for example, maybe so that you know already how your blood sugar reacts to it and how you can manage it insulin-wise. I have some great recipe resources. Some of them are, for example, ketogenicgirl.com. There's Maria Emmerich's fantastic recipes, or dietdoctor.com. Fantastic real food recipes that can't really go wrong. Most of them also have carb counts, so don't be afraid to try them, because it's really, really nice to sort of widen your repertoire when it comes to food a little bit. Otherwise, things get so boring if you eat the same thing the whole time. And or, how about you try a new form of movement or a new workout? I may or may not just have completed 20 minutes of dance party in my living room to the best of the noughties R&B. May or may not have. But it's so much fun. You know, just something that makes you smile, that puts a smile on your face. It can be, have you tried any of the, for example, online movement things that are widely available right now? There's so many yoga apps, there's so many high intensity things if you want. How about you try Daryl Edwards' Primal Play with his Animal Moves cards, for example? That's fantastic. There's so many resources that you don't need to go to the gym for. If you are allowed to go out for a walk, I highly recommend to do that daily to get some fresh air and some sun on your nose, hopefully. And yes, just try something new. And this is also the time that you can experience and experiment how your blood sugar reacts to that kind of movement, so that you can incorporate it into your, whatever your normal life is going to look like after the lockdown, you can incorporate that into your normal life afterwards as well. De-stress, my friends. Take a deep breath, unclench that jaw, roll your shoulders back, lay your hands flat on your lap. Relax. Relaxing is so important, and especially right now when everything is so uncertain and there's a lot of anxiety in the air and in the world. And I did a whole anxiety video last week that you can also find either on my blog or on YouTube. And, you know, there I shared some tips on how to handle that. But de-stress, and whatever de-stressing means for you, if it is meditation practice, fantastic. If it is EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique, awesome. If it is yoga, go for it. If it's taking a long bath, yes. If it's a good cry, do it. Anything that makes your stress levels go down and you are that makes you happier, calmer, and a more and a nicer person, really. Stressed people are never really nice, so be a nice person and de-stress for yourself and for the sake of your diabetes management, because as we know, stress is really the blood sugar killer number 1, as I say all the time. So find your way of de-stressing and enjoy it. It could also be something like a beauty day, like face masks and hair masks, and maybe paint your nails if you want to do that. But you know, those are just ideas. You have to find your way of doing it properly for you. Have you tried to hydrate really properly, as in really drinking a lot and enough of water, and not just, you know, take a sip and then forget about the fancy water bottle that you purchased for yourself to have available at all times? Can you actually make that commitment for yourself to hydrate, and if you need them, also add some electrolytes so that your body feels better and it works better and it's happier? Do it, because there's a huge difference. And I saw that ketogenic girl posted something about hydration and a comparison picture of her face when she was dehydrated to hydrated, and it was such a huge difference. So if nothing else, if you know, making your body feel good is not, you know, a convincing argument for you, how about looking a little bit better? then maybe that's an argument that will convince you. I don't know. Let's see. Also, in preparation for when whatever life looks like when we go back to normal or out of this lockdown, how about you find a routine that works for you? Not for me, not for your neighbor, not for the person you live with, not for your mom, your sister, or your pet, but for you. How do you feel the very best throughout your day? Is it starting your morning with meditation, perhaps? I know I say that a lot, but meditation perhaps? Or is it starting with a really an energizing chat with a friend? Or is it with a cup of coffee? Or is it to dance to your favorite song for a couple of minutes? Really find the routine and the whole day in the way that it works best for you. What follows that first thing you do in the morning? What's the next thing? Okay, and what's the next thing? And when are you actually hungry? Rather than eating just according to conventional, 12 o'clock is lunchtime, and whatever, 6, 7, 8, 9, depending on where you live, is dinner time, and between there, blah, blah, blah. When are you hungry? When do you want food? What works for you, so that you can apply this even when you go back to the office, even when you a little bit of reevaluating your current routine and maybe swap some things out that could work better for you. Doesn't have to be harder than that. Then another one, which I actually do enjoy when I have the time, energy, and can be bothered, is actually foot care. We all know that people with diabetes are prone to problems with their feet. Maybe, perhaps, not everyone, of course, but all feet love a little extra TLC. So get a good foot bath, get a pumice stone to sort of take away the maybe not so pretty areas, the hard skin, the dry skin, all that stuff, and then moisturize and give yourself a really, really well-deserved foot massage. You are going to thank yourself, your feet are going to thank you, and yes, it will be time well spent. But again, maybe time that we normally don't really have available to us because we are stuck in offices or with other commitments, socially or whatever else. But now that we are more at home, maybe this is more of a time to get this done. Also, if you are interested in hearing more about or learning more how to incorporate this kind of stuff into your life from me, I have opened up a few coaching spots, and you can book those via my Instagram profile right now. I'll put the link on Facebook as well and in the YouTube. But yes, I have opened up a few spots so you can book your time with me, and we will hash out all your diabetes problems that we have time for during our power hour together, and I would be so happy to help you. But now first, I do want to hear from you. What are some of the diabetes things that you are looking to do or accomplish? Or maybe it's none of it at all and you just think this video is complete bullshit, and that's fine too. Let me know and leave a comment below, and I'll be happy to chat with you there. Until next time,